Good morning. It's Thursday, November 17th, 2022. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Wudang Qigong. We have the first 9 of the 18 sets in this series. We're working on the foundation sets. I have a couple of announcements and some things that I have mentioned previously and have started to kind of determine a little bit. One of them is that as I have been teaching these classes, there has been an accumulation of what I teach. Whatever those classes were, there's a video that talks about whatever that particular segment was focused on. I've done that repeatedly, so different segments, different focus, same kind of thing as what we're doing here. Always a little bit different because it's a different day, right? And as I've gone through that, as I've looked at that, one of the things that I have decided just now is that I need to revisit some of those classes and focus on, I take that back, and bring out whatever it was I focused on. Right? So there might be 5 or 6 classes where I've talked about the need to work on physical attribute. We're going to strengthen the legs, right? Talk about that all the time. I need to kind of collect all of that and make it more accessible for those folks who want to learn. That process is something that I have known I need to do for a long time. And the reason I'm talking about it now, is that I have a plan. I now have a plan. Well, I'm going to take that back. I almost have a plan. There are some things that I want to most definitely collect, and there are some things, and yes, we are getting ready to start, and there are some things that I'm happy to set aside. It's daily repetition. I'm not necessarily going to throw it away, but doing a little bit better organizing is always possible. So that's going to be one of the things that I focus on. The other is bringing in some of the additional material that I have and that I have studied and that I have learned from over the years for both the physical practice as well as the philosophical practice. So it's my class, I'm teaching my philosophy, and not really. Alright, the old traditional philosophy that goes with Qigong practice, that goes with Tai Chi practice, that goes with all of the internal arts, as well as with most of the martial arts that I've studied. Internal, that I'm not going to say I've studied, that I'm acquainted with, because I'm acquainted with a whole lot more than what I've studied. There are some foundation principles that we all pay attention to. The physiological piece, this is what I've got, this is my leg, this is my arm, this is my elbow, what am I doing with this body part, right? What am I doing in this movement? We all pay attention to that. How well we pay attention to it and what kinds of things we pay attention to, that may be a little bit different. All right, and for my part, I have a pretty long list. So there's some part of that that I do want to cover. some part of that list. What am I paying attention to? Why is this important? Why does that matter? I want to cover that again. And I want to bring together some of the pieces that I've already presented so that there is a better library. Okay? Feet about shoulder width apart. Wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers. Basic stretch. Arm circle in the front, back around to both sides, up along center line, and reach out over the legs. Roll up through the back. Again. One more time. And fingertips reach up, elbows drop down, wrists, hands return to your sides. Okay. As we practice today, one of the things that I want to ask you to pay attention to is this physical practice. What am I doing in this movement? And we want to do this at a different level. So, the physical movement, right? Pay attention to the physical movement in the mid and the lower back. Pay attention to what's going on as we move, as we go through all of the movements today. Pay attention to what's going on in this mid back. So, under the shoulders, shoulder blades are up here, right here through the back, this whole section through the back, and this section right here. Pay attention to both of those. This is also the general location here of the jiaji, and here the ming, two of the gates in the back. Ladies, right hand on the outside, gentlemen, left hand on the outside. Both hands connect through the lao gong at the lower tian and breathe in. Come up to the middle tian. Breathe out. Press down. Return to the lower tian. Open the back. Relax through the hip. Keep the back straight and very relaxed as you bend. Bend through the knee. Open the hip. You should feel a gentle pull in the lower part of the back as your legs bend. As the arms come up, a little bit of an extension through the shoulders to bring the elbows out. It's not intentional, it's there. Two more. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and separate. Press down on both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Breathe in, palms up. Breathe out, press down, pushing the mountain. Again, keep the back straight. Keep the ming open. Bend through the hip. Open the hip so that the leg can move freely as you bend the knee. Release the hip. Nice and easy. Pay attention to the jiaji and the middle tian. Relax the breath. Make sure that you're not looking up to close the zhen, the jade pillow, and the base of the skull. Make sure you're not looking down either. Hold the head nice and even, steady, and relaxed. 2 more. Breathe in, and breathe out, and breathe in. Press down on both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Breathe in, breathe out. Babu slime, palms up along both sides. Sink, open the back. And again. Allow the hip to bend as you bend the knee. Pull up through the torso. Hold the mid back, hold the lower back. Pay attention to the small muscles along the spine. Keep shoulders down. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. 2 more. Keep the body straight. Pull up through the center. Last time. And breathe in. Hands down along both sides. Pull up through the crown of the head. Raise the heels and lower. Diagonal flying. Left side, right side. Breathe in. And breathe out. Turn to the left. Turn on the heel. Turn the toes. And down. Keep the back straight. Come to center. All that work we just did to keep the back straight, to bend through the hip, use it. Open the back. Relax through the mid back, relax through the lower back. Hold through the front. Pull in through the front in the abs, pull in and up. Left. Nice and easy. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. Sink. Breathe out. Open the hip. It happens in the back, through the back. Support the torso through the back and the front. So that moving up and down is almost effortless. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last time, breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. Hands down along both sides. Pull up through the crown of the head. Raise the heels and lower. Breathe in. Breathe out. Palms supporting heaven. Pull up through the heels. As you press up, connect the lao bone with the heel. Press up through the body. Again, pay attention to the centers below the shoulders and the center of the back, the center and the small of the back. Keep the body connected and well placed. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Relax the breath. Push up from underneath. Turn the waist. Two more. Last time, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Hands down along both sides, pull up to the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Breathe in, breathe out. Push, left side, turn on the heel, turn the toes, push. Keep the back open. Again, pay attention to the area of the back just below the shoulders. All the way down to the center of the back. Pay attention to the jiaji, the center in the middle of the gate, in the middle of the back. And the ming, the gate in the small of the back. Allow the leg to move in the hip socket. So that the back can stay quiet and well placed. Keep going. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pull in through the lower tian. Pull in. Hold the waist. Two more. Keep the connection through the body. One more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. down along both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Breathe in, turning palm, breathe out. Same idea through the mid-back. Pay attention to the difference in what we're doing with the hands and how that feels. In the muscles just below the shoulder. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. As you bring the arms up, pay attention to the lower back. As you press out, pay attention to the area just under the shoulder blades for the upper arm, and just below the shoulder blade for the lower arm. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Sink. Extend through the movement. Two more. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Last time. Breathe in one more time. And breathe out. Hands down along both sides. Pull up through the crown of the head. Raise the heels and lower. Breathe in. Ward off, pull down. Ward off left side. Hold the ball right. Little step. Ward off left. Pull down right. And back to center. Hold the ball left side. Little step right. Ward off right side. Pull down left. Again today, the Jiaji and the Ming, the mid-back and the lower back. What do they need to do in each movement? What does my mid-back need to do in order to hold and ward off? What does my lower back need to do to complete the step? How do they work together? Where is that coordination? Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Keep going. Pay attention to the small movement that drives the larger one. what is the least possible needed to do any movement. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. I'll talk about that after a while. Breathe in, and breathe in. Keep going. Breathe in, and breathe out. Two more. Breathe in, last time, and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And breathe in, and breathe out. Come back to center, breathe in, breathe out. Hands down along both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Pei Pa Gong, breathe in, breathe out. Hands on the loop, shift onto the right. On the left heel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back to center. And on the left, right heel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And come back to center. Pay attention to the upper back. Hold through the lower back. Turn the waist. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. Breathe out. Relax the breath. Open the back. Keep going. Hold through the center. Keep the hips open and stable. 2 more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep the shoulders down. Use the mid-back and the upper back, not the shoulders. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands down along both sides. Pull up through the crown of the head. Raise the heels and lower. Stay there. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Okay, today, lots of repetition, lots of focus on this area right in here and this section of the back. The 2 gates, the Jiaji here and the Ming Men, both need to be open as we're moving, right? So as we, and I'm going to talk about the little muscles just for a second in a minute. Alright, so as we're moving, that small heavenly circle is open and the chi can circulate through the entire body. If we're tense here, the Jiaji is not open. And if I'm doing something like this, it's not open. If I've got my chest stuck out, it's not open. If I've got my back too rounded, it's not open. I can't, there's no flow. Back stays naturally straight. It should not be stiff. That's the stretch that we do at the very beginning. Each vertebra needs to be moving. A little bit. It's not a lot. It's a little bit. It's a very nice, for lack of a better way to say it, that basic stretch that we do lubricates the vertebra in the back to get us going. That's why I do it. It helps to prepare the body for what we're going to do next. As we're practicing, and again, this was today's focus, the Jiaji and the Ming Men, keeping both of those centers open as we're practicing and focusing on what do I need to do. If this is my back, right? This is my back. This is my spine. What do I need to do with the small muscles so that as I extend my live long and prosper, okay? As I extend my arms, that I'm using the small muscles here and not trying to do something else with my shoulders, my upper arm, whatever. That instruction that I gave, the least amount of effort possible, the least movement possible that's needed to initiate whatever we're going to do. All right? My right arm, least movement possible to initiate my arm to go up. What did I do? I pulled on one of these small muscles. Here's my back. I've got a whole group of muscles. They go out this way. I pulled on two of them. Right? Pull this way, arm goes that way. It really does work like that. It really does. And I pulled in here. I pulled this down. I pulled this in. Arm went up. Right? Least effort possible. Least amount of movement possible. When I can find those small movements, which Qigong practice gives us so many opportunities to go and find. It does. When I can find those muscles, when I can find those tendons, those ligaments, so that I can maneuver them with the least effort possible. I didn't do anything with this part of my arm at all. It was right here. All right. It's not, and this is not something that's exclusive to Qigong practice, okay? This is something I learned initially from dance. This connection through the body. Which muscles do I need? Which muscles must I use? And they're not always the ones we think we have to use. Which can relax, which don't need to, they have to be held, but they don't need to really be involved. Okay? So, what has to work, what needs to hold, and be relaxed, mostly. And what needs to support. Okay? What needs to be active? So, what needs to hold, what needs to support, what can relax, what needs to be active. Reducing that, what needs to be active, to the least of the requirements. What do I actually have to do? Gives us greater flexibility, greater facility within the movements themselves, and a better understanding, because we have to go looking for this. It's not immediately noticeable. This is part of internal workmanship. Understanding your internal physiology. Understanding your internal body functions, right? How do your muscles and tendons work? How does this actually happen? We need to know these things. We really do. If you're going to study something, you should know what you're studying, right? Human physiology is part of what we study, and how the body works, how the body mechanics work. And then we extend that further, considerably further in Qigong practice. I hope you've enjoyed today's class. Some of this was not basic practice. The expectation that you know your physiology, that you know these small muscles, and that you can use them is not beginner level, okay? But it is fundamental for all of our practice and for being able to advance that practice. Yeah, hope you enjoyed today's class. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow with the advanced sets 10 through 18. Next week, Bagua. We're finishing Bagua. Thursday and Friday, Qigong. I hope you'll join me.